All right, welcome to RoboBoat 2026. You guys made it. Woo! Hopefully you guys are just as excited as we are. It's been a crazy few days getting everything set up, but we can't wait to see everything that you all have been hard at work at. So we have a lot of information to go through. We're going to try to go through it as fast and efficiently as possible. Those of you who've been in team times, reading through the handbook, this should all be the same information you've heard. We just want to make sure we cover it before we get started for the week. So we'll go ahead and kick off with a few announcements, but before we do, I want to recognize some of our sponsors. We have a lot of really great people that will be here this week, so make sure you are always on the lookout of who's coming through Team Village, whether that's sponsors, our judges, our volunteers, or the public. We have a lot of public at this event. They like to come through and ask a lot of questions. They're always really interested in what you've been working on. So we have lots of folks coming through. We also will have MathWorks here on site. We're excited to have them. They're always here to help you, so any questions you have, feel free to find them and they will help you however they can. We also have some folks from a studio called Boscoya. They're going to be on site as well. All of the Cora class that you see out on the courses, they actually provided as an in-kind donation. So we're always thrilled to have sponsors, just like all of you do. We need those to be able to put this event on. So next up, we wanted to just marvel in the sheer number of teams we have. We have 37 teams for RoboBoat this year. That is an all-time record. So many of you have worked so hard over this past year, even just in the past few months to get here. And so we can't wait to see all of you work together and collaborate and have an amazing year. Before we move on, I always like to ask, how many of you is this your first year with RoboBoat? Raise your hand. All right. Lots of new people here, so we want to make sure that we're always helping each other. So make sure that you get to know each other in Team Village. We have you all side by side so that you can go around, ask questions, and help each other out. But once again, just big round of applause for all of you for all the hard work, and you guys did make it here, so it's going to be a great week. All right, next up, we have lots of folks here, like I mentioned, that have been hard at work for the last few days. They are going to be in black or blue shirts. So you'll see all of our staff and volunteer that are going to be making this event possible for you. I'm not going to go through all of the names here, and Sherry will go through a little bit more as far as finding the appropriate people you need to find. But we got a great group of people that are going to make everything possible this week. So we can't thank them enough for all that they've done. All right. You've heard me say this before, but make sure that you are on Discord. We have the QR code here that you can scan. We're going to be using it this week primarily to send out announcements. Sometimes there are things that happen throughout the day we want to make sure that all of you are aware of, and this is the easiest way for us to ping your phones really quickly. So make sure at least one of your team members is on Discord. I know there may be some folks that can't access Discord, so if you can't access Discord, come find one of our staff members and we'll make sure that you get the information you need. Next up, special award nominations. So this is something we have running all week long. You can use the QR code. We want you all to interact with each other at Team Village, help each other out, and if you see other teams that are helping each other out, we want you to nominate them for an award. At the end of the week, we have awards for everything that you're doing out on the water, but we also have special awards to be able to recognize all the work that you're doing people to people. So we want to make sure that those awards are pulled together and you guys are able to see each other face to face. So make sure that you're nominating your fellow teams, and then we'll reconcile those. The form does close the day before finals, so make sure you get those in before finals starts. Last but not least, wanted to remind everyone about data sharing. So if you scan that code, you'll be able to access the online data sharing server. All of you should have access with your team email that you used in registration. This is where we've had teams be able to share data sets, particularly different sets that are helpful in testing. And then I know this week, especially during practice, a lot of you will be collecting data. So we also have a local server that's available on site. We'll be talking about this a little bit more in a tech talk tomorrow, so come find us, but make sure that you're utilizing this, sharing with with each other, but also if you have any requests, you can throw those out on Discord, and sure enough, most of the teams here will be able to help you find whatever you're looking for. So want to make sure you know about that resource that's available to you. All right, I'm going to pass it over to Sherry to go over some event details.
All right, welcome everybody. I'm Sherry Koch. I'm the Senior Events Manager. We are here to help you. If you need help in any way, I'm one of the amazing folks here at RoboNation. Our staff is here. We want to help you be successful. So make sure that you find one of us. We're going to go over that. Let's see next. Okay, here we go. Here I am. You see me? I always have this crazy little visor on, so you can find me, but I'll also have an orange vest. I should have had it on today, but I wanted to get a little sun. Juliana will also have an orange vest. Any one of our staff, course managers, anyone in an important role who might be able to answer a question or have a radio to find the right person if you have a question or you have a need. So find somebody in an orange vest, they can help you, or find the right person who can help you on site. Every one of you has a name badge. On the back of your name badge is Juliana or I's cell phone number. If you have an emergency, please call us because we can help get you resources wherever you are. Okay? We are here to help you, since pretty much none of you are from Sarasota. So if you need help around here, we can help you with that. Okay, next. As Juliana mentioned, you guys were given your shirts that you ordered. You've got white shirts. Our volunteers have blue shirts. I'm looking for a volunteer, but I don't see one. They are working out hard. Oh, there's one. Come on, show us your blue shirt. Come on, Billionaires. Yay. There's a blue shirt, Billionaires. That's our model. All right. She is a volunteer. We have our judges and volunteers are all in the blue shirts. And our RoboNation staff are in the black shirts. So if you need somebody, just grab one. Our lead judges are in yellow. Course manager and RoboNation leads are in orange. And the all-important safety check person who you need to check in with will be in pink. All right. All right, our schedule. We are here today. We've already gone through orientation. Safety checks will begin as soon as you finish team orientation. If we're going to go over kayak training, we'll talk about that. Bill will talk about that. It's at 3 o'clock. Overnight testing at our amenity pool begins tonight. Even if you are not staying at the hotel, you are welcome to come and practice in the pool. We'll go over a little bit more about that. Friday, Saturday, we start at 8 a.m. with practice and qualifying. You have presentation and assessments. You should have your schedule in that all-important envelope that you are given at check-in. Make sure you know when your presentation is, when your system assessment is. Presentations are done in the tower. Please make sure that you are at the tower 15 minutes prior to your time. We will have runners who will come and remind you. System assessments will be done at your team area in a team village tent. Overnight testing is every night until awards. Sunday, Monday is when we start semifinals, and on Tuesday is the finals round. I want to just stress that our venue hours here are till 6 o'clock. It gets dark. We don't want you here after 6 o'clock. And the island, this is an island surrounded by water. There are only 2 entrances, and they lock them up. And so if you've forgotten something overnight, you will encounter security. Even I encountered security last night when I had to come back and get something important. All right. Every morning and every evening, there is a morning and evening meeting. You must have one member of your team attend those daily meetings. We will go over any important changes or updates that you need for successful competition the next day or for that day. So please make sure you attend those. All right, Tech Talks. I think this is just reminders about our Tech Talks are going to be in Team Village. We've got a really great lineup of tech talks. The schedule is online. It's here for you to look at. But we're really excited to be able to offer you just some really interesting discussions and talks that can help you as you work through your education and your career. All right, overnight pool testing. The amenity pool is open to you. You have a copy of pool rules. Please just be conscientious about what you do at the pool. Overnight hours, it is a hotel, there are people sleeping. The one big thing I want to mention is the pool deck. Please do not do any repairs on your vehicle on the pool deck. Hotel guests come on the pool deck in the morning, and if you've left a little tiny piece of wire or shard of metal and a little child steps on that, we don't want that. The other thing is only people are in the pool for monitoring your robot or working, deploying your robot. It's not a time for swimming. This is Florida. We get a lot of storms here, so please monitor any kind of weather app and make sure that if there's lightning within 10 miles of this location, that you are out of the pool and back in your room or car. Okay? You are on your own. I don't recommend anyone being in the pool by themselves. Please use a buddy system so we don't have any issues. All right. Next. Okay, immediately after orientation, Bill's going to take you on a small tour just to give you the lay of the land. Okay, Team Village map. Where you see the waves, that's the water side of the tent. You can see where your booth space is, so you don't have to be searching the whole tent for your booth space if you haven't found it already. All right, next. All right, photo day. Every team will have a time, or was assigned a time tomorrow to have their team photo with their vehicle. There is a group photo with everyone, and that's going to be over here in front. This is the finish tower. Everybody, there's some steps there. We're going to gather you there and take your photo. Sarah, is that with vehicles or without?
On here? Without. Without here?
No vehicles, but your team photo, your individual team photo will be on the land side of Team Village. So we will help you find that, but there's only one entrance on the land side, and you'll see a blue banner, and you're going to take your photo in front of that blue banner. All right, and come find Sarah. She will be ready for you. All right, just a quick event reminders. As you guys can see, you are in the sun. Welcome to Florida. It is hot, even though this is technically winter. We do know that it's going to get cold next week toward the end of the event, and it's, for us, for Floridians, 30 degrees is cold for us, very, very cold. So just make sure that you are prepared. It's chilly in the morning. We had fog this morning and it can be a little wet. Make sure you wear sunscreen, hat, hydrate. Make sure you bring water with you. We do have water stations in Team Village near the RoboNation booth and near the Tech Talk booth. This area called Lakewood Ranch, there's a lot of places to eat. You can use DoorDash, but they're not super reliable here at Nathan Benderson Park because it's really hard to find them. But you can run out this direction. There's a mall over here, lots of food options. There's a grocery store, so Target. All right, we already talked about when the park closes, so let's move on. Rain and lightning. We talked about it at the overnight pool hours. You guys are on your own to monitor that weather in the overnight pool hours. And if you're in an Airbnb with an overnight with a pool, please make sure that you monitor yourself there too. But we also have to monitor you in the water. So the courses remain open during rain. Here in Florida, rain can be light or it can be super heavy. Our course director and our event staff will determine whether we're actually going to close the water. But we will close the water if lightning is within 10 miles. We will not only close the water, but we will close the tent. It is not a safe place. If you don't have a vehicle to get in and go somewhere else, you can shelter underneath the building. And then we will notify you on Discord when we have reopened if we have to close. Wind. Welcome also to Florida. It is very windy, as you can tell. You guys will be expected to contend with the wind out in the water. We have to contend with it. It blows our docks, it blows our buoys, and we have to reset them in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon. But they will affect your boats. So please be prepared and take that into account. Watch your weather out. All right. Here's our expected temperatures this week. Just as you can see, it is supposed to get a little chilly for us, but just keep an eye, bring a jacket. If you're from somewhere cold, enjoy the warm while it lasts. Okay, I want everybody to look at Team Village if you can, and there's a great big 20 by 20 tent right on the corner of Team Village. That is the castle of our IT expert, Nicholas. If you need anything, there you go find Nicholas if you're having issues with your Wi-Fi. He asks us to remind you that there are antennas around the inside of Team Village. Please do not plug anything into one of those antennas. You can take down the entire network by doing that, and we've had students do it. So please don't. He also will be monitoring your Wi-Fi usage. If you get to be a Wi-Fi band hog, he will throttle you in more ways than one. So please be considerate. All right. All right, I'm going to introduce Bill Porter, our technical director. Psych. No, just real quick. I've got two teams that have large crates at the hotel, Beaver Country Day School and Navier. If you could see me at the end of this, just I need to talk to you about getting those over here.
Thank you, Sherry. All right, guys, welcome to RoboBoat 2026. And like we've said before, it is the biggest RoboBoat yet, and we are very excited. But what comes first? Safety, that's right. So safety first. Sherry covered weather. We also have wildlife. This is Florida. We do have wildlife, so keep an eye out for that. But most importantly, you all are getting sunburned right now. If you've not put sunscreen on, you are getting sunburned. So please use sunscreen here. We do not want to have any safety related to too much sun. Please be aware, there are wires running across the site. There are things to trip on. There are wires to rip out. Please don't be the one that rips the wire out and turns on all the power to the site. And be aware, there's not a lot of critters inside the tent because the tent didn't exist 2 days ago. Sometimes spiders do make webs pretty quick, and just be aware if you see some webs, take care of it kind of thing. That's general safety. Course layout. We've talked about this in the team times. You now see the course. If you have any questions about the course, see me after the orientation. But yes, you should all know what that looks like now, and now you can see the real thing. The way we handle signups for the course, you need to find myself, or you need to find a course director to request a time slot. But you can see the current schedule through that QR code. So if you use that QR code, you'll be able to see what the current schedule is, but you won't be able to change it or add yourself to it. You will need to find me, or you will need to find a course director to be able to pick a time slot. But if you want to see what's available, that's the code for that. We will go through a safety checklist. This is something myself and another person will be doing with you. As a reminder, what are we looking for? We're looking for making sure your kill switches work. We are looking to make sure your teleoperation works. I will have you take out the battery or turn off the transmitter for both RC or their safety stop system to prove that when you take the battery out, that it actually fails safe. Is there anything sharp on your boat? We will have volunteers trying to help you with your boat. We don't want to have people cut, so make sure there's nothing sharp on your boat. Is everything properly secured, or is it going to slide or fall off? You can feel the wind. If something's loose on your boat, it will likely be blown off, and you will probably lose it. So make sure everything's secured, and make sure that you're somewhat protected from the rain. If it's a light rain, we will not be stopping. So if your boat can't tolerate a light rain, we will not be stopping. So please make sure your boat is somewhat rainproof. And again, one more time, your wireless e-stop must fail safe. We have had teams use the products inside that picture. They were meant to control your Christmas lights or your holiday lights. They were not meant to stop your boat. Because what happens is if the transmitter goes out of range, your boat keeps running and we can't stop it. So during your initial safety check, I will be having you unplug the battery or turn off the switch to your transmitter to make sure that your boat fails safe. Does everyone understand that? All right. Every launch, we will weigh your boat to make sure that you haven't added too much weight and it's a safety concern. So if you look at the map there, what's represented by 11 will be the weight station. So please plan on passing by that weight station when you go to launch so that we can weigh you once again. And as a reminder, per the rules, we do not allow LTE connections from the boats during scoring runs. This includes GPS modules that have LTE radios on them to receive differential data. So please, we're calling this out again to make sure that this is well understood. No LTE communications equipment should be on your boat. If you have it already, we will, during the inspection, talk to you about it, because we'd like to understand how you can demonstrate that it can be turned off during a scoring run. Okay, we will go and look at the launch stations when we do the walkthrough. Basically, you all brought a trailer or plan to get a trailer for your boat, right? Who's got a plan for the trailer of their boat? Trailer? No. It's something that your boat rolls on, because you're going to have to roll your boat down the launch ramp. You're going to roll your boat down the launch ramp, and you need to provide that trailer. So when we go look at the launch ramps, we'll go and point out what one of these trailers look like. Please make sure you have a team member who is able to get wet, because they will walk with your boat down into the water, and it's likely that their shorts will get wet. So it's good to designate someone on your team that is either wearing no shoes or they're wearing water shoes and wearing a bathing suit to be the person that goes down with your boat when you launch it. So does everyone have a plan for one of their teammates to get wet? All right, I see some finger pointing going on. Perfect. We will need another team member pushing the trailer. So launching your boat is a minimum of a 2-person operation. One person on the trailer, one person getting wet with their boat. When you're done launching your boat, please take your trailer back to the team village. Do not just leave your trailer at the beach. That is a safety hazard. So after your boat is launched, please take the trailer back to team village in your course area, in your team tent. All right? It's new this year. We are going to allow you to be the kayakers. You can have members from your team be the one that actually kayaks out on the water and recovers your boat and pulls it back. However, there's some criteria. You must attend training today at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock today we have kayaker training. You should know how to swim. If you're going to go out in the water, we want to make sure you can swim. And we will make sure you are always wearing a life jacket. So, student kayakers this year must attend training, must know how to swim, will always be wearing a life jacket, and we would prefer if you have experience kayaking. Otherwise, we'll teach you real quick during training. That's new this year, so if you're interested in that, please make sure that you set an alarm to come to kayaker training at 3 o'clock today. All right. Battery safety, the fun one. Let's see how fast we can run through this. Who's heard this speech before? All right. What teams already have designated their battery manager? What teams have a battery manager? All right, that's good. I like to see that. Lithium batteries are great until they aren't. What happens when they're not great? Recorded here in Sarasota for the first year that we were here for RoboBoat. I was just getting ready for bed, and suddenly my phone started ringing a lot. I got dressed and went downstairs, and there was a fire happening right outside the door of the hotel. Basically, a team had an issue with the battery, and thankfully they got the battery out of the hotel, and then it burst into flames. So the video that would be playing right now is a video of us standing outside the hotel as the fire department came to put out this battery fire. Battery fires are real, they happen, and they're devastating. So how do we prevent them? Well, we prevent them by understanding them. What causes lithium to fail? The most obvious common failure is overcharging. Another obvious failure is over-discharging. Typically, over-discharging just causes your battery to get puffy, and we have to dispose of it safely. Overcharging usually causes your battery to burst into flames. Other types of failures is if you rush to put your battery in your boat and scratched it or punctured it, mechanical damage can also cause it to burst into flames. So, real quick, we talked about discharge. Discharge is, we actually see over-discharge most commonly in these competitions, usually from teams that didn't build a battery management system into their solution. They just plugged the battery into a load and called it a day, and they weren't paying attention to how low the battery got until it over-discharged and got puffy. So that's a common one. It's usually not as devastating, but it's also not great because you still ruined your battery and it could become unsafe. So, I believe the term is called spicy pillow. Does everyone know what a spicy pillow is? A spicy pillow is a lithium battery that has gotten puffy. If your lithium battery turns into a spicy pillow, we will show you in a moment where the safe areas to put it into a sand bucket will be. How not to overcharge. Oh, I guess this is discharge number 2. Yeah, we'll go to overcharge. This is the one that got us in trouble. This is the one that I want to make sure you guys are paying attention to. If you've looked at your lithium polymer battery packs or lithium iron battery packs, they usually have 2 connectors. One connector is the actual pack voltage that you use for your load. The other is the individual battery cells broken out into wires. That is used so your charger can monitor the individual cells, not just the entire battery pack. But sometimes it doesn't work as intended. There's the spicy pillow. If your battery turns into a spicy pillow, please let Sherry know. How do we contact Sherry? It's on the back of your badge. Thank you very much. Remember, Sherry's in the back of your badge. And on either end of Team Village, we will have orange buckets with sand in them. Your first priority should be to get your battery inside that bucket. LiPo bags for charging whenever you can, and never leave a battery unattended, and we talked about sand buckets. So real quick, the spiel I will give you is, for the teams that don't have a battery manager, or the teams that do have a battery manager, what teams have read the manual for their charger? There are not enough hands going up right now. What teams have read the manual for how their charger works? If your team is not raising a hand right now, please fix that today. You need to learn how to configure your charger. And I want you to do a test. When you go to charge your batteries tonight, you plug in the main connector and you plug in the balance connector. Start the charger, make sure that it's charging, and then unplug the balance connector. And see what happens. I'm telling you this because we routinely have teams that go and do this test, and the charger does not stop. It keeps charging without the balance connector connected. That is what happened at RoboBoat 4 years ago. A team had a charger that was misconfigured for a higher voltage than what it should have been, and it did not correct itself because of that balance connector. So the charger applied too high a voltage to the battery and it burst into flames. Please go do this test with your charger. See if the charger stops when you unplug the balance connector. And if it doesn't stop, please read the manual because there might be a setting that is the wrong setting. The team here knew about that connector. They had plugged it in, but their charger was configured to ignore it. The charger did not use that connector by default, so they did not actually have the advantage of having that safety system enabled. So, if your team didn't already have a battery manager, and they haven't already read the manual, please fix that tonight. We want to make sure that we don't have an event like that again. The only things going on fire are your boat's performance, not your boat's battery. Alright, next. We have a surprise! Who's ready for the surprise? You guys have had too much sleep, don't worry, we'll fix that shortly. We have a on-site dynamic elements that we are adding to the competition. We want to see how fast you can program a new autonomous behavior. This new autonomous behavior is called RoboBoat, and it will be during finals only. This boat is going to run interference. It is going to get into your way. We want to see if you guys can detect this boat getting in your way and react. So the desired behaviors we are looking for is detecting that this boat has just entered your path. We would like your boat to come to a stop and use the heartbeat system to report that you have now encountered this interference boat. You'll wait for this interference boat to clear your path, and then you'll resume your mission. You will also report to the heartbeat system that you have detected the boat has cleared your path, and you're resuming your mission. This is not required. This is optional for more points. So you can tell us that you plan to attempt this challenge during finals as a way to get more points. Who is excited about this new last-minute task that you just found out about? All right. I think we're ready to see it. If you have questions about this, let's use Discord. Let's use the team meeting tonight. All right?